No, listen, let's just expand our realm even more. What's your name, sir?
Danny.
Danny, how are you, Danny? Danny, you're local, are you?
Yeah, not too far.
Yeah, not so far, that's cool enough. And Danny, what do you do?
I own my own shoe repairing company.
You own your own shoe repairing company. Bizarrely, you turn the crowd into a panto crowd. Yes, sir. Ooh, actually, it is quite a panto thing, isn't it? Like an elf. We're back to fucking elves again. Do you have a team of elves or little cobblers like that? It's quite a Brothers Grimm kind of situation, isn't it? Do you repair for princesses who dance the entire night through? Do you go, where? Well, I fix these shoes every day, and then the princesses go, but we dance. What's the biggest shoe you've ever repaired?
Maybe a size 13.
Maybe a size 13? But this is a size 13. Is this as big as it gets? Are you scared, or are you looking at that in a lustful way? Are you looking at that shoe thinking, this is incredible? If I could just get my hands on this man's leather needs. Is it leather? No, the sole. What's the sole made of? What do people do?
That is leather, yeah.
That's leather. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, boy. It's grand. It's shiny. Are you looking at that? Do you have enough? Is there a cow large enough? Or do you have to graft other cows together? Do you genetically modify a cow to make some sort of super cow with more leather than has ever been seen on a cow before? Is that what you do, you monster? Are you breeding some kind of freaky super cow at the back of the thing where your elves then kill the cow and they skin the cow and they make shoes for angry princesses? Is that what you do, is it, Danny? Is that what you do? Is that what you do? Just say yeah, Danny. Just say yeah. Just say yeah. Just say yeah. Just say, you monster. Just say, do you have a little hammer? Do you have a guy in the window? One of those things in the window. Do you have one of them?
No, not anymore.
Not anymore? What happened? What, did he expose himself to some children inappropriately? Or did the old man behave in an inappropriate way? Scaring neighbourhood children. They've always freaked me out, those things. They always like wrong, just this old man looking really, yeah, fuck it. You think I like doing this every day, just one nail hammered it. Did you have one for a while though, did you?
Yeah, it broke.
It broke? Oh. And where is he now? You haven't thrown him out though. Sentimental, you've kept him at the back, have you?
Back of the garage.
He's at the back of the garage somewhere, where a child will discover it in years to come. What a wonder that'll be for an 8-year-old, suddenly to move a box and there's an old man there. With his little moustache. They have moustaches, don't they? Little moustaches. Like the world's least cheery Christmas decoration. And he never quite hit the nail either. It was like the worst fucking cobbler I'd ever seen. He'd get close to the nail, and then he'd pull away. It was like he was teasing the shoe. Oh, yeah, I'm going to repair you? I might not this time. I might repair you? Ah, fuck yeah, you're not going to get it repaired this time, Danny, it's good to have you here, my friend. It's very good to have you here. Danny, for God's sake, stand up straight. Let's do this. Anyway, where were we? We're in London. Now, one of the joys, by the way, of this, as opposed to any... Are you with me again, Danny? All right? You're with me? Okay, good. One of the joys, by the way, of being in London is that, hey, this is where I live, you know, like, and that's nice. Although, actually, when you tour, you get to hang out in places, and that's kind of cool. I mean, and more weird stuff happens when you're hanging out in places. In Manchester, for example, we went into the hotel, and my wife came out with me to Manchester, and we walked into the hotel, and she suddenly stops and goes, this is very familiar. And I said, have you been here before? And she goes, no, this is where Leanne Battersby came when she was a prostitute. But the weirdest things happen when you go away. Like, for example, where were we? In Liverpool, and we were talking to the guy in the hotel after we come back from the gig, myself and the tour manager, and we said, listen, what should we do? What should we do? We're in Liverpool. And your man goes, well, you want to go for a drink? Just down the corner, there's VIPs. And we said, what's VIPs? And he says, it's a lap dancing club, open till 6 in the morning. And he said it like that, and I went, that's like the most depressing thing I've ever heard in my life. Who needs to be lap danced at 6 in the morning with sunlight streaming in through the window and some poor Eastern European girl pressed up against the bar trying to sleep with her arse just going on autopilot, just trying to get any kip at all. Jesus, any cash. Jeez, 5:45, could I please sleep? Some of those places are so depressing. There's one in Birmingham called Medusa. A lap dancing club called Medusa. Google it. Would it kill you to look up who Medusa was before you name the business and you print the napkins and the menus? Possibly the worst choice of icon for a fucking lap dancing club. Our dancers are sexy, they've got snakes for hair, and they'll turn you to stone. Yeah, you have to look at your dancers in your shield. Jesus, the tits in her are fantastic. Ridiculous idea. There was one, the best thing I've ever seen for a lap dancing club, again, which I didn't go into, was one in New York. There's one in New York called Mixed Emotions. And no name better sums up the journey that you go on visiting a lap dancing club then. Mixed emotions. You're in there going, you're so hot, but I love my wife. No! In Newcastle, we were staying in a hotel called the Malmaison, and it was a hotel in which Gaza had a bit of a moment a couple of months earlier, right? And I've even had a weird time in that hotel. Weird thing happened to me on the last tour. I was in the hotel, right, after the gig, but 12:30 at night, right? And I'd managed to lock the DVD player. I managed to shut the machine down, right? And I don't know what I was doing. I think I was trying to fast forward past the anti-DVD piracy ad at the start of the film. You know that horrible compulsory thing where you've just spent $14.99 on a film and the first thing it does is go dun dun da 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 dun dun da, you wouldn't steal a car. And you're looking at it going, well, I didn't feckin' steal you, so I don't know how you think I'm going to steal a car. You wouldn't kill a man. It's a ridiculously over-the-top warning. If they even vaguely kept it in proportion, dun dun da 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 dun dun, you wouldn't steal some post-it notes. And you would, you'd be sitting there going, well, feck it, I might, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, if I'm in the cupboard and they're looking all shiny and yellow, I might have them, you know what I mean? Like, I might have some biros as well while I'm there. Who are you to judge, Mr. DVD? That's the best thing about buying illegal DVDs, is you don't have to sit through the warning not to buy illegal DVDs at the top. You're straight into the film. But anyway, so I've locked the machine trying to get past this. I found some mode and I've shut the whole thing down. And I ring down to the guy on the desk, who's just some guy who works on a desk in a hotel. He's not Newcastle's leading audio-visual expert. He just comes up and does the same 4 things I do. You know, he does in, out, on, off, takes the back off, rubs the batteries, push, 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 and then turns and goes, you fucked the DVD, yes. And I went, well, what am I supposed to do now? And he goes, I don't know, what, read a book or something. So I went to bed, and I'm reading a book in the bed, and about half an hour later, there's a knock on the door, right? So I walk over to the door, and I just go, lift up the little thing, and I look out. And all you can see, right, there was nobody there. It was just like a fisheye view of the door on the other side of the corridor, right? And I'm going, that's really weird. When, phew, a naked man runs past the door. And you start tilting and squinting your head, because you're thinking there must be some angle I can look down here that would make light bend down the corridor and I can see who I was. But of course there isn't, like. And as I'm doing this, looking at the fisheye view of the door on the other side of the corridor, boom, the naked man runs past again. So I just open the door and I go, hey! And the guy turns around and I said, and I looked at him and I knew him. I worked with him on the gig that night. I'm looking at the guy going, what the hell are you doing in the corridor? Come in, come in, come in, come in, come in. I got him into the, I said, what the hell are you doing out there in the nip? And your man goes, I don't know, I was asleep. I went to the bathroom. I closed the door. I went, Jesus, there's a lot of doors in this bathroom. So now he's naked in the corridor. And the only useful piece of information he has is that I am somewhere on that floor. So he hatches a brilliant plan to knock on every door and run away until eventually he finds me. So he basically just cups and knocks and runs down the corridor like that. So I give him a towel and he wraps it around himself. And I ring down to the desk and I say to your man, hello, my friend is here. He seems to have locked himself out of his room. Maybe you could bring up a key. And the guy goes, no problem at all. Happens 5 times a night. I'll be up in a minute. That's a long minute, by the way. When you're with a guy you kind of know, trying not to look at his nipples. But eventually the guy arrives up with some little magnetic swipey key and he opens the door and he comes in, he sees me and he goes, hello, how are you? And then sees my friend and he just goes, there you go, sir. Get you back into your room. Right now, night. And he just looks at me, just gives me a look. A look which says, so you broke the DVD player. And this is how you decided to kill the time. Well, and you haven't even got the decency to hold him for the night. Come on, I'll take you away. Has he used you? Has he used you? Let's bring you back to your room now, will we? Which isn't the weirdest thing that's ever happened to me in a hotel. I was once in a hotel doing a gig, and I arrived an hour early, and the gig was running an hour late. And the woman who's my liaison met me, and she goes, we've got a 2-hour gap. And she gives me her room key, and she goes, go up to my room, you can sit up there, you can watch television or whatever. And I went up to the room, and I sat and I watched Shaun of the Dead, as far as I remember, for a couple of hours. And then there's a knock on the door, and they bring me down to do the gig, right? And after I'd finished the gig, your one comes out again, and she goes, listen, I have a spare key. You can just take that key, go up to the room, and get your stuff and go. You don't have to come back down again. And I went, that's brilliant, thank you very much. And I left, right? And I went back to the room. Now, in the time I had been gone, the turn-down team had been into the room. You familiar with the work of the turn-down team? A few of you are. Okay, grand.